episode of Speakers of Idlen is made possible by our generous patrons, like Chris, Dalamut Papodo, Scry de la Rosa, Ryanet Chikara, Lilium Tenebrae, Kylin, Ignal the Dragon, Erisu Yamakawa, Jamie Assur, Elam, Lily Black, Cheshire Soltiri, Meili Algren, Sisirifu Lilirifu, Ariel, Courtney Dimos, Casey Schaefer, and Omega Cat Comet. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/speakersxiv.
This is Speakers of Idleness.
Good evening, Aorcians. Welcome to Speakers of Idlen episode 116. I'm Lakeel Bravestone, and I'm joined today. Oh no! Oh no!
You messed up?
No, we're fine. Yas,
okay.
almost said Yas Bravestone.
Yes, Bravestone.
And Myla Pot.
There's something you want to tell me?
We're married now, Yas. I did it
I didn't
in
even
your
know.
sleep.
Wow.
Welcome.
Okay.
That was.
I'm already noticing there's little tiny things below me.
Yeah, I noticed those.
Oh, yeah, but
Bottom of
that's
the
the
frame.
curse of doing the 3-man. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a curse.
Actually, I fixed it.
Oh,
So.
no,
Oh, okay, you did. Right on.
Perfect. Welcome to episode 116. Today we are, of course, going to talk about the Chaos Data Center. Not the Chaos Data Center. The chaos on the data centers. The disconnects and all that shit. The 4.4 website has been updated with more information on Pyros. And Yoshi-P finally comments on whether Final Fantasy XIV should go free to play or not. Now that happened last week, but it happened just after an episode, I believe. So we didn't get it. I think it might actually have happened 2 weeks ago. I feel like it's been a while since it happened, but it just for some reason didn't make it on the patch on the show notes. Maybe might have been last week actually. I can't remember. Anyway, we're going to discuss it today. And if we have time, the winners of the Aorcian Interior Design Contest has been announced. We might look at some of them, but they're like 80-something winners. So that's a lot of homes. In the post-show, we'll premiere the Limsa Laminsa Remnants of a Realm episode, part 1. And we'll discuss that. And now Sora is going to come out as quickly as possible. I can't give a date because I'm like in the middle of it right now. So it's coming soon, TM. Right, let's jump into quick news. It's something we haven't really talked about. The configuration shit that they launched with 4.4 that's always been disabled. I thought that was weird that we just haven't discussed it. The fact that it's there and it's always got that red triangle on it, and it's just always no one's really questioned the fact that it's not available. But apparently it's coming out in 4.45, which
I mean, they did say it wasn't gonna be. They were like, it's not gonna be a thing,
right?
Because it was in the patch notes, but didn't it say like it's there, but
it'll be
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
they did. So it's like they didn't want to release it. I don't know. It's weird. So yeah, it'll be out in 4.45, but that will be in beta. So it's not even done yet in 4.45.
Wow.
And
Isn't it just like copying some files? Do you need a beta for that?
feels pretty basic to me, but it'll be
I could be wrong.
it'll
though.
only
Maybe
be
it's
available for
complicated.
PC at first. So it'll be out for the PC and PS4 whenever it's out of beta, I guess. So want to point out something about it though, because it is Square Enix. This isn't an automatic feature. You have to back up manually still.
It's one you got to do every single time you want to back it up.
Yeah, if you make changes to your character, you're going to have to upload it again. So it's not like it's going to be in the background and save your stuff.
Yeah, so it's not like a backup per se. You can't use it as a backup.
They call it a
backup. You still can use it kind of as a backup, but like
it's
in the sense like say something like your PC explodes.
Yeah.
And you're like,
you're gonna have to hope you back.
Well, at least I keep my hotbars and everything. It's like, no, not necessarily. You keep them last time you back them up.
There's also a cooldown on it every 24 hours. So it's it's kind of like Nintendo. It's like tech that we'd expect in 2005. So maybe that's what they mean with beta. Maybe in the future it'll be automatic.
I assume beta maybe also just implies the fact that it's not on PS4.
Yeah. Possibly.
Right?
Just that they don't really quite know what they're doing yet.
It kind of feels
they want to push
like
it out.
They don't know. It's very strange. I wish they would just have this feature that every time you log off, it syncs your stuff. That kind of makes sense to me, and that's what I expected this to be. But it's not. So
I mean, the phone app, they don't do things in a normal way. That's kind of
yeah. Anyways, it is what it is. It's a good feature, I guess. It's better to do that than to having to save make sure your My Games folder is always intact and having to back that one up.
Like a flash drive around with you or whatever. If you're one of those people that plays. It's way better.
So at least even if you backed up like 4 weeks ago and you made changes and your computer blew up, at least you'd have those backups from 4 weeks ago because your computer is gone. So there's nothing.
Yeah.
Right. So, that's. I have to excuse the feature. Anyways.
But yeah, Devin in chat kind of brings up. It's like in an age where Steam Cloud is a thing, that just like every time you finish doing anything, it saves it, and it's
in an age where everything is cloud based, like it's weird.
Yeah.
Right. Anyways, we didn't cover this when it was first found, but data mining revealed a mount that was in the game files, because we usually don't discuss data mining unless it's like big shit. This is pretty big shit in size. A big whale mount, which a lot of people speculated was a 4-man mount. That was the 4-man mount because it's really so big. Turns out it probably isn't. It could be a 2-man mount, apparently, because according to the data mining, the code sort of implies that it's a 2-seater mount. It's the Indigo Whale, and it has now been revealed as a Chinese mount. Now, I don't really have a good picture of it, but you can find it anywhere. It's just a giant whale.
Like Chinese mount, implying that it's only coming out in China?
Yes, for now,
Possibly,
anyways.
Yeah. But you know what happens with...
It's in our game files. Why do we have to wear it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Just release it to everyone.
It'll probably be
having
released.
Like an expensive cache mount though on the cache.
It'll be on the Mog Station.
Good point.
That's very fitting though. It's very fitting to put a whale on the Mog Station.
Finally, the whales.
Wow, that's true. Yeah, that's some really good irony there.
Yeah. Right. Not much to say about it other than that it is by far the biggest mount we've ever had in the game.
Yeah.
It could fit 4 people because it's got it has a table on it, and that's where people thought, okay, there's 4 seats there, so 4 people can sit around the table. But I mean, we still don't know. We won't know until it's put into the game, like until we see it in action. But what a waste if they are considering a 4-man mount and they don't make the whale a 4-man mount. But maybe in the future, they're future.
Yeah, they could also do it retroactively for sure.
Yeah.
Just think though, like we all thought the Behemoth mount was a good troll mount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine
20 of those standing in front of an NPC.
Standing in front of any NPC with this whale.
Here's this is a PSA to everyone who has suffered from that. If you haven't changed this keybind, num0 will automatically target the nearest NPC. So
second PSA, holding down X will remove all player names so they can't be targetable, so you can only click on NPCs.
There you go. That's how you beat the trolls. Okay. 4.4 website has been updated. Not much has been added except for some information on Pyros and Hildebrand. Although I can't really talk about Hildebrand, and we couldn't even if we had done Hildebrand. Have you done Hildebrand, Yas?
Yeah.
You excited for this edition? Without spoiling story?
Yeah, actually, kind of. I kind of am. Yeah.
Okay.
This is some of the characters that were in some of the images.
Oh yeah, there's some.
I have a feeling there might be a fight coming up. Maybe not in this one, but I have a feeling there's going to be a fight eventually.
Yeah,
so
I kept up on that rumor, so that's very exciting. Right, but Pyros has been updated there, and there's like a picture of like a butterfly lady. I'm assuming that's going to be the Luigi and the Pazuzu of Pyros.
Probably, yeah.
So there I don't, was this text there? No, because Pyros wasn't even on the site, was it? No, yes it was. They just added the picture.
It was, but
but
yeah,
it didn't
they
have
just
very
added
much
the picture.
information.
Right. They did, however, put in the logo system. And I, of course, like most people, thought it said harness the power of memes, but how was it? What was it pronounced like again? Names? Nemes? I can't remember what the original.
Memes?
I think it's Emenes.
Google it.
Yeah.
No, it'll say it's a Greek word.
I'm joking.
Can someone just Google it so we know? I don't want to get called out in the comments for like years to come.
I thought they actually just. I thought it was a spelling mistake.
Yeah.
Why do they insist on picking the hardest words to pronounce?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Gotta be Greek. Well, what's it, Mala? Have you Googled it?
Well, I can't find anything that actually says how it's pronounced.
Yes. If you go to the... oh my god, I have to do it myself.
Oh yeah, Nimi.
Nimi. Nemes. Good word. Nemes. Everyone's going to call it memes. We're just going to have to prepare for that.
Well, especially considering what you get to do with it. It's going to be meme-worthy shit, too.
It is, yeah. Acquire special actions to aid you on your expedition in the Forbidden Land, Eureka Pyros. I'm a bit confused because part of Pyros is still in the icy part.
Yeah, I don't like that at all, really.
So is that the top of Pagos? Because Pagos has this top portion
Must be,
with the big crystals around, and I think that's where
there
you
was
are.
a screenshot with the crystals.
Yeah, so I think you're on the top, and then you enter.
But then I suppose
Pyros.
Pagos had grassy areas.
It did, yeah.
Right near the entrance.
Yeah.
That's true.
So it's all right, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it like bleeds over. Like the last zone kind of does bleed over a little bit.
Yeah, I
and then-
guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, they
mean-
show the logo system, and
Yeah.
the system itself looks
That's good.
decent. Yes.
Mhm.
And you can sort of see that you can hold, what is it, 3 or 2? How many? I can't remember
I
anymore.
think 3.
Yeah, there are 3 slots on that screenshot. So
Did you notice something, by the way? I feel like a lot of people haven't noticed. Have you looked at the cure potency of that cure?
Yeah, 9,000.
I know that's to counteract, like, because it's like Black Mage isn't gonna have high healing magic potency, but that's got to be like a full heal, right?
Probably.
Still, even like 9,000.
I
like,
mean, it's called Cure L as well, which...
I assume
Yeah.
for logos. I assume that's what that means.
Oh, Cure logo.
I thought it was large, but yeah.
Yeah, I
probably
thought
not.
large.
I
Big-
assume it's just a way
big
to say
cure.
like
Huge cure.
it's a logos action.
I'm more
right?
interested in the action, the red action that's on the screenshot, because what is that? Wisdom of the Skirmisher. Do you see that one? That's a unique icon
Yeah.
for Pagos. So they said 30 plus skills. So
Bit worrying that it has a success rate chance there that I've just noticed.
Yes,
Ooh.
it's
Yep.
Yeah, you have to like craft them
That's
using some shards, I guess, that you find, and
That's
also
good.
the skills will wear out. You can see that in the thing on the right.
Ah,
You have a bar, so
Oh,
they
wow.
will eventually run
it's
out.
just worse and worse and worse. Come on.
It's
Why do they need to run out? You can only have 3.
yeah, I
Can
know.
you imagine grinding out just a bunch of crystals and then it's like, oh, I can finally make holy L, and then it's like, no, you failed. Rip.
90%
again.
chance of
I
fail
can
10 times
hear
in a row.
Tanaka laughing in the distance. I can hear him from wherever he works now in Japan, laughing.
Yeah.
This is his dream come true. It's just RNG on top of RNG and a fatigue system to boot. So there's
within a grind fest.
yeah, within
What
a
a
grind
dream.
fest.
What a
And this
great
was
system.
supposed to save Eureka, so I'm a little bit worried right now. But
Nothing can save Eureka.
yeah, definitely not this, which is so sad because the system itself, if you remove the
Good
fucking
idea.
success rate and the limitations, like 3, and limited use. What is this? I mean, it depends on how it depends on how many of those shards or whatever, how often they drop. If this is like something, if the healing thing drops like from every other mob, then maybe it's not so bad because you can have like, I don't know if you can you probably can't stack.
I thought you would be able to stack them. They have like a number next to them, so I imagine you can.
Oh yeah, do they?
I think
Yeah,
it's
it says
so.
three. He's
3?
got 3 of each.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I mean like once. I mean I'm saying like the ones that you've crafted on the that goes into the
right.
slot, so you could have like 3. So when the third
I don't
one,
see why you wouldn't be able to stack them, but you only get 3 slots, so if you stack them, what's the point?
yeah. Well, it's
I
interesting.
mean, if you can make them anywhere, it doesn't really matter.
No, you
'Cause
can only
just
make
run
them
it
at
whenever.
that thing there in the background, I
Oh.
think.
Yeah, you have to go
Right,
to
yeah,
the
oh.
logos.
Okay, then that does suck if you can't stock up on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
Then
to,
you're
yeah,
gonna
you can
be
have
going
3.
back every once in a while. Yeah.
But we don't know
That's
how
fun,
many
yes,
of
that's
them
fun
are
gameplay.
in the world.
Oh, it's fun. You're right.
Bit of
Yeah, no,
emergent
this is
game.
fun. This is old-fashioned 11 fun, where it's so you don't need to be, there's too much hand-holding in today's MMOs, guys. Fucking cry bitches. This is real MMOs. This is a real MMO now. Okay, let's...
From 2003.
Yeah. It's good that the relic, well, at least the Black Mage relic doesn't look very good. So I don't need to be
Well,
sad
this
that I
is
don't
the
get it.
step where it gets the shine.
Oh yeah, I mean if that's the shine in the
That's
screenshot,
the glow.
I don't care.
No.
That's
He's
him
casting
Cure.
He's
Yeah, I was
casting
like,
Cure there.
But if that was, that's
I don't think that is.
that doesn't
we'll see
know.
how it is.
Right. Let's move on. Encyclopedia Eorzea Volume 2 is now getting ready for release.
Yes.
I believe I have the date. It's on November 24th. Is that correct?
That's what it says in the show notes.
Okay, so November 24th is when Volume 2 will be released. Oh yeah, it says it right there.
And that's exactly 1 week after we find out what the next expansion is.
Yes.
3 weeks to go, guys.
Um,
Hooray.
that is weird. That
That
only
is weird.
3
It doesn't
weeks
feel
away.
like it's that close at
Yeah.
all. Feels like it's. Oh wow.
That's
God, I'm so pumped.
What did you say that now? I'm getting nervous almost thinking about
Good.
I'm nervous.
I'm going to say every week.
that. Right, it's been 2 years since the official lore book was released, and the second iteration contains a
That's it.
whopping 304 pages of newly
Has it
combined
actually
information.
been 2
Yeah,
years?
that's
It has been 2
Jesus.
years.
It feels like it was maybe last year.
Yeah. Important to
This
note that
expansion's
it-
flown by.
it has 304 pages, which is 1 more page than the first volume.
Getting
So-
our money's worth then.
So yeah, because I thought volume 2 has to be tiny. Like how much can
Yeah.
they fit in there? Oh, well, apparently 304 pages. So they also released some screenshots. I'm not going to show them here because I haven't loaded them up.
From what it shows of the screenshots,
They look
although
pretty
there is quite a lot of information,
Mhm.
there's also quite a lot of art,
There's a lot of art. That's
which is
true.
good.
There's a lot of
but that
like,
also
art
fills
I've never
pages.
seen before. So that's
Yeah,
cool.
it's really good.
I love the diary part with the
yeah,
what are they called? Missionaries.
yeah.
So the first book is the Voyage, which talks about charting the realm, I guess. Well, to Authard and back. So this is obviously going to be Authard heavy. I'm
This lore book is
assuming
gonna be
Ilsabar
weird.
too.
This lore book's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
Because. So one thing you have to keep in mind is that Encyclopedia Eorzea is written only by a single man, a single Eorzean man, right?
Yeah.
So he's not. It's they're never going to be talking about Othardian lore from the Othardian's perspective. It's always going to be from an Eorzean dude who's like, "Oh, I read about this for 5 seconds."
So that
It's good. It's going to be
makes it
weird.
compelling.
It
I
does.
like that idea about it because it kind of means that they can have discrepancies, but it kind of makes it charming in a way.
Yeah.
Right. Just like how they never covered the Coil stuff very well in the first one because he's like, I wasn't there. Nobody knows about this.
Right. The second book is her tale, so that's the story, the history. So that's just a continuation of the history of Eorzea. So that's like more recent stuff with the liberation of Alamigo and Doma. The third book is about her lands, so that's more Girabanian and Far Eastern stuff. Interesting stuff about Hingashi. Like I'm impressed that they actually, or more surprised that they released such high quality screenshots from this book. Like you can read everything. You can just read this.
I'm quite interested about that chapter because in game they're quite small little zones. They don't expand hugely on it.
Yeah.
I mean, the side quests, or from what I've done of them, they were all right. But it'd be nice to have it all written down because Eorzea's done. We know about Eorzea loads, whereas this is hardly touched on.
Right.
I think because honestly, my favorite parts of the lore book were reading about things that you don't get much of in game, like Thavnair and stuff that's like mentioned frequently, but you have no reason to actually discuss in depth with any of the characters. And I'm super excited to see all the stuff. I'm sure we'll get a lot of information on stuff like Thavnair that we already knew about, but I'm sure they'll start talking about these little niche Othardian stuff we've never heard about, but they wrote and just have nowhere to put.
Right.
And I'm sure we'll get a million gems. And it's the thing is with the lore book is it always makes you wish that they had done different things during the expansion because you're like, oh man, if we find out about all this cool Othardian stuff, we're gonna be like, why wasn't that part of why wasn't that in the steps or whatever?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to read about all that stuff.
Yeah. Right, so the fourth book is her servants, so that's just people from Othard. So the Mole tribe is shown here, and the Oranair tribe. Not much to say about that.
I wonder if they'll go into detail about all the tribes though, because there are quite a lot.
Oh yeah, they are. But I'm sure they'll
only
get a mention.
Sort of a handful are actually really looked at in the actual game.
Yeah, I don't think they'll get like the big pages that the Maul and Oranair tribes are getting here because
304 pages.
That's true. We'll see when it comes out, I guess. The fifth book is her Bounds, which is the darkest and most dangerous locales. So that's from the caverns of Vilbrand to the abysmal depths of Othard's Ruby Tide.
So dungeons and stuff.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Dungeon lore. That's not present in most of Volume 1. I don't think...
It's a good call. I like that they do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you fight a boss and they treat it very throwaway.
Yeah.
You're like, there's gotta be... Like the giant... When we did Swallow's Compass that one time, and I was like, why is this thing here? It's a giant waterman that doesn't fit the theme of the game at all. Like, I'm sure he's got actual lore behind him. So I think that's a cool. Addition.
Yeah. The sixth book.
Also, you can see. Is that your Jimbo?
That is your Jimbo. Yeah.
Be good to see what they say about him, and hopefully hint that he's coming back as something more than attention.
You'll never fight him.
The sixth book is about her designs, which is jobs and weapons, and I'm assuming because it shows like polearm, so it'll just show all the different weapons from
lovely art.
Yeah,
I think I see like some. I think one of those is the Heavensward relics and stuff.
Yeah.
Like some of the ones that came out after the books had come out.
Yeah. And I like that they have like they have lore about just the weapon type polearm. So that's cool. The seventh book is her burdens, which is basically just an updated bestiary for the East.
Oh, they give us like skeletons and stuff though. That's cool.
Yeah.
They never did that in the other one. I feel like they have really nailed, from what I've seen, obviously it's the 6 pages you can see of the book. It seems way more like an actual encyclopedia this time.
Yes, yeah.
Like way more, and that is super charming.
Wait, sorry,
like, how they have all these like educational diagrams and stuff, super cool.
Yeah, sorry, I said 7th book is her burdens. That's not that's not the bestiary. That's the beast tribe races of Authard. The 8th book, her creatures, is the updated bestiary.
Yeah, they're kind of the same.
In a way, yeah.
But
Namasu, of course, is there.
There's like a chicken.
Yeah.
It also shows like the evolution of domesticated beasts, like the sheep. So you can kind of see on their skeleton what they used to look like, and then through domestication they just became these big blobs.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's deep lore. That's just,
I love it.
Yeah, that's world building.
And again, I love that it actually feels like an encyclopedia. Like before, they would just have like a game screenshot where they cut it, traced it out, and it's like that looks like somebody studying sheep and wrote it down.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool.
So, Encyclopedia Eorzea Volume 2 will go on sale on November 24th. So you can pre-order already. Today. That's on the Square Enix store.
Use my Square
Enix 123.
Use coupon code Speaker6IP.
Daniel. For 1 cent off.
It is,
but then they add 1 cent to the shipping.
Right.
So is there? I'm noticing in chat because Volume 1 isn't for sale right now, is it? So.
I think you can buy it in the NA store. I think you might be able to buy it in the NA store.
Oh, really? But not in the EU.
I think it's gone from the EU store right now.
Such a weird. I'm sure it'll come.
I did live research.
It'll probably go get it back in stock when Volume 2 comes out, because it's weird not being. Because some people are new to the game, they might not even know that there is a lore book, and then they learn about Volume 2, and they're like, "But I obviously want Volume 1 as well." But it's sold out? Okay, so it's sold out. That's the
problem.
Is it?
Yeah, where is it?
Oh, yeah, it's not there. Yeah, because I looked for it last time.
But you can't even search for it.
I know. It's not even there. So...
But it is on the NA store. It's just sold out?
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
The book is still there in NA. It's sold out. Okay, that's really weird.
It's just removed from EU, so I don't know what's going on.
Oh my god, there's a snoozing chocobo plush.
Okay, we have to move on. Let's talk about DDoS. That's what all the cool kids are talking about.
That guy.
It's fun
David DOS.
Interesting.
David
DOS strikes again.
Why don't they just ban him?
Yeah, because he's a paying customer.
Yeah.
It's getting super boring.
It's getting
when
old.
It actually happens, but you know.
So it started on Chaos, and it got really, really bad. That's when I actually did Pegos. So the DDoS attack will forever be tied to my experience in Pegos now. So that's not helping. And one day, I kid you not, I probably had about 20 minutes of actual playtime while in the span of like 3 or 4 hours, because the data center just died, and then you were on and you were rubber banding, and everyone else was offline. You were alone in the instance. Everything was bad. It was bad.
Yes, I've heard.
And then a couple of weeks ago, they apparently solved it. Remember, we said it on the podcast even. That's an episode that didn't age well, because we're like, apparently they fixed it. But over the past week and a half, not only did it spread, but it got way worse. Like it would it even reached the North American data center. It even affected 11. 11 had to issue a statement that they were under attack. So it's pretty weird, and it's pretty bad. But now it seems I'm not going to say that they've fixed it, because they haven't fixed it. It's still happening.
They've fixed it. There will never be another DDoS again.
Yeah.
You can quote that as
they've arrested the person responsible.
Dude, I was like, it was Thursday night, right?
There was a yes.
Well, when NA got hit.
Yes.
Well,
when NA went down, everything went down.
It's been bad. Oh, I don't know. We might not be able to raid tonight. Well, I'll log in. It's like, oh no, things are great. Things are absolutely great. So we raid for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Midgard's Ormer's at 15%, and every single one of us is kicked at the same time.
Yeah. It's bad. Even the launcher sometimes wouldn't open. The lobby went down. Like, it's just chaos. Chaos. So Yoshi-P issued another statement a couple of days ago, again with that iconic announcement. This is producer and director Naoki Yoshida. I always feel like he's shouting it as well. Like he's either over a walkie-talkie or in a big open room with lots of panicked people, and it's like, "This is producer and director Naoki Yoshida. Your attention, please."
He's like standing on a turnover milk like crate.
This is like the apocalypse, and Yoshi-P is on a table now, and he's saying, "Currently, there are DDoS attacks taking place." I want everyone to just visualize this now. Yoshi-P, I feel like he's wearing like a big jacket, like it's cold. It's like
maybe a cap as well.
Yeah, a cap. He's got armed guards around him. It's like mayhem, and we're scared.
I don't think he's even had time to put on his jewelry.
No jewelry. He's not. This is
ring.
Too dangerous. Yeah. So and he's shouting this all the time. Like, okay, So everyone's got that mental image now. So here we go. Currently, there are DDoS attacks. No, I'm not going to shout. Taking place on a heretofore unseen scale upon all NA, EU, and JP14 data centers, purposely timed for each region's peak usage hours. So this is like happening for like if this, and there's no reason to not believe this. The DDoS attacks are literally being done to damage the game. This is exactly what the purpose is. There was a massive disconnection event earlier in NA due to this, and we apologize for the inconvenience caused to our players. The development and infrastructure teams are working together with the upstream internet service providers of each data center to deploy defensive measures. With the help from the providers, we are working around the clock to combat the attacks and to prevent the occurrence of any full service shutdown. While deploying these countermeasures, there is a chance that some players will experience lag or unstable connections due to rerouting of connections. We're sorry for any inconvenience this will cause. We are doing everything we can to prevent a full service shutdown, and we ask for your patience and understanding as we continue to do our best to address ongoing issues.
God, I can't believe he used heretofore. Like, this isn't Pride and Prejudice. Come on. So formal.
Yeah.
But at least it's nice that it's been confirmed by even him that it's targeted now. I mean, it was pretty obvious.
It was.
That it was, but, you know, that means that they know they're being targeted, which is a bad thing for all of us.
Yeah. Lots of conspiracy theories about it, too.
If you're the DDoS and you're watching this, can you stop?
Yeah. It's so pointless.
I haven't got any tomes this week, and this is totally the reason why.
No, totally.
It's so pointless. I will never understand DDoSing, because you don't get any. What's the gratification from it? Like, what? Because you can't see the people that are affected. Because I think that's what they want, to see people get angry, but they will never see it.
They get to read the forum posts,
and they will watch this.
They'll watch this. Hello? Yeah, I was gonna say this is what they want right here.
Yeah.
I just play something else. It's not a big deal until it comes back, and then I'll do expert.
Yeah. I mean, just don't play in peak hours.
Yeah, DDoSers, if you're listening, like, we don't even care, dude.
We don't care, dude.
Like,
so,
keep doing it.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Like, if you do it, we won't even notice.
I don't know. I don't know if the 11 attacks are tied to 14, but I feel like that's...
The 11 attacks.
Yeah, but they did attack 11 and 14. So
they probably had, like... I like to imagine...
I'm already laughing because I know what you're.
They had like a warehouse full of PCs, DDoSing 14, and then you like open up a closet.
Yeah.
It was like an old like 1995 IBM, and it's like got one connection. It's like we've connected to the 11 servers, and they've gone down.
I'm gonna create 5 characters in a row.
5 characters back to back.
I think they've actually been targeting 11 the whole time, but because it's so just slow and old and no one cares, and they've only
No one
just
noticed.
Just now, someone checked like, 14 is under heavy attack. Just check. Oh my god!
Whoa, what happened?
We thought we had this many players to just DDoS attacks. Okay. No. I don't know if that's connected, but it seems like it's likely.
It's probably connected. Yeah.
So that's not good. Someone released on Reddit a little spreadsheet of times the servers
Oh yeah, the conspiracy theories.
went down due to DDoS attacks. So this is from like reported DDoS attacks. So between 2014 and 2015, November to January, it was down 56 days due to DDoS.
Jeez,
attacks.
that's a really large
Wow,
number.
that is a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a whole year, but
No, it's from November
just
to
those-
January.
That's so big.
Yeah.
That's a lot of days. Yeah.
July 2017, it was down for 25 days, which is that's almost the whole month.
I actually don't know if this is. I don't know if that. It's not that it was down for 25.
No, but
days.
reported attacks.
Right, like 25
So-
days of issue, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't down for a full day.
Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah, 'cause I was like,
no. I'm
That's-
saying like
I don't remember this.
don't remember that.
DDoS attacks are reported on
Yeah,
these
yeah,
days. October to November, 32 days. February 2018, 5 days. May to June 2018, 17 days. And in this month alone of October, 26 days and counting.
Which was all of the days when this was made.
Yeah.
Why this month though? Because like,
Well, obviously, it's because Blizzard's expansion came out. WoW's expansion came out. So
yeah, it came out in August.
and then Yoshi-P just uttered their name the other day in an interview. So it's like all obviously.
Yeah, but he said he liked Diablo mostly.
and he said he wanted to work with Blizzard, but you can't say that.
Ah,
If he fucked up,
Yeah.
you know.
It's just like a 13-year-old kid. I'm just picturing the most lame person doing these
Yeah.
things.
It's that. Yeah, it's.
It's never a cool
I love
person.
how everybody jumps to like companies, like rival companies
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah. Because one of the biggest conspiracies, like it's like some Chinese MMOs like that have come out. They're suffering and they want to
Right.
kill 14 because 14 is so big in China.
Even though they're not DDoSing the Chinese servers, just
Yeah.
the ones that there's just the clients that the Chinese people
Well, yeah,
can't
that's
even
a
play anyways.
Good point. We don't
It literally
know,
makes no sense.
but we wouldn't get news if China was DDoSed, would we? I don't know how that would be reported.
No, not at all. I mean, their client isn't even. It's a different client. It's not
Yeah.
even attached. It's
Yeah.
a completely different client. So
Well, whoever it is, please stop. But I think the most interesting thing is that a lot of people are demanding a refund for their October fee.
you know,
They've made a petition.
at first I was like, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
But really, having lag every day for a full month or disconnections every day for a full month, it's kind of fucked up. It's kind of not cool.
Well, it
Yeah,
hasn't been
you've gotta
down
weigh
for
up,
26 days.
like as a company,
No,
if they
but
were
it-
gonna lose, if they just gave out the money for 1 month to everyone playing, that's gonna keep people playing for a few more months. They'll make the money back.
Hmm.
I don't see it being a huge issue. with them doing
Yeah.
that.
I also like, how would they decide how much playtime you would get back? Because
I think they just give you a free month.
Give you a month.
no
yeah.
way. No
Why
way
not?
they would do
I mean,
that.
when you're paying $15 a month for
It's
server
not like it's
stability.
going on the servers, Lukio.
I
Yeah,
just
it's like
don't
when you're
think Square Enix is going to do
well,
that.
no, of course they're not going to. They're not going to give us anything. Like
No.
they will literally
They might
not
give us some
anything.
pity days. They did that with the
Maybe.
launch of A Realm Reborn. So
Yeah.
but that's like
Yeah, but
one
they
of
were
the
really
only
trying to curry
times.
favor. Back
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Did
I
they
don't
do
think
something
they
with
care as much.
Stormblood's launch as well?
No.
Yes, didn't they? Because of
They give you extra
Cold
days.
Steel? Oh, they didn't. No, I just feel like they
No.
did. It was just a lot of apologies and
There's
Just
a lot
a
of,
lot of
there's a lot of I'm
apology.
sorry. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's just like when you're paying if it's a free-to-play game, it's like, oh, well, our servers went down. Go fuck yourself. But when you're paying for the access and to have, you're essentially paying for your connection, right?
Yeah.
If you can't connect or your connection is severely hindered, like, I understand it didn't go down every day. That's fair, but the lag has been horrendous. And trying to play, like, do serious content on that lag is not easy. It's ruined a lot of people's prog for Sigmascape. It's kind of bad.
It is bad. I mean, if you were paying for any other service and you didn't get the service, you'd expect, and to be refunded.
Yeah.
So I don't see. I think they should.
I don't.
Yeah, that's true. If you couldn't use Netflix for a month, or like it totally messed up, I'm sure if you email them, they'd be like,
exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're
paying to be able to watch television. If you couldn't watch any of the television, why did you pay for it? You deserve the money back because they didn't provide the service.
Yeah, I understand. I don't. Yeah, it wouldn't cost Square Enix much to give. I mean, they don't have to give a full month because technically
it doesn't
the
cost
game
them anything.
No, it doesn't.
It's sacrificing profits.
Yeah.
They're not actually paying for it. It's not like they have to pay our $15 sub.
They might. I mean, if they added month on,
if they gave you a free month, though, they would lose a month's
income.
They would lose money, but they would lose.
Sort of,
They would, because they'd skip a month.
But they wouldn't actually have to, like, pay money.
No, they wouldn't have to pay, but like it would cost them money.
For sure.
But I think, if anything, they won't give you a full month, because the game hasn't technically been down for a month. It has been sporadically down, but it hasn't been
laggy.
For some people, it's been close to unplayable.
That's true.
It's been laggy and
I'm not a Square Enix representative, by the way. I just want to point.
Look at this white knight over here. Look at this white knight over here.
We need to balance this
discussion. The servers are fine.
Because a lot of people agree and a lot of people disagree with this. I just don't care.
I'm kind of stuck in the middle.
I don't care.
I'm kind of stuck in the middle.
But either way, it's a bad thing. Also, this is kind of out of... Well, I don't know exactly how this works, but I'm not entirely sure all the blame... I mean, the blame isn't on Square Enix.
No, that's true.
No.
Unless they're self-sacrificing their own service.
Yeah, I mean, there's always that.
But it's still your responsibility.
Yeah.
Again, it would be totally different if it was not a paid product, like if it was some game where you just buy like the $80 game or whatever, then you play it, and then the servers go down. It's like, oh, that sucks. They're not going to give you a free game back or whatever. But again, when you're paying for the actual connection, like all we're paying for is the connection. We bought the game. All we're paying for now each month is the connection. And when that connection either doesn't work or is bad, it's not an appropriate connection, then I don't know, man. It doesn't.
And in a world,
like, I understand it's not their fault. It's not their fault, but it's still their service.
Yeah,
their service doesn't work.
And there are like 2 subscription-based MMOs left in the world, so you'd expect them to be pretty damn premium.
Technically 3 with 11, which they also DDoS. So I hope they get their playtime back too.
Oh yeah,
because that's actually more expensive than 14. Still,
yeah.
It's like $1 more expensive because you have to pay for each character.
Yeah.
Each character is $1, everyone.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's whatever. I don't think they're going to respond to that. Maybe they will. Maybe
I think you're probably right. If we see anything, it'll be like, here's a couple free days. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they can ignore stuff like Thursday night where everyone couldn't play for a couple hours.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, you can't brush that off as like...
I feel like the fact that it affected the JP data center is the main reason.
Make them notice?
Yeah. So they would have rode that without caring.
Because that rarely happens, that the JP data center gets attacked in that way. And that was probably the reason why they now seem to be more aware of everything.
I like to imagine it was like Yoshi-P sitting at his desk, like reading a newspaper, having a cigarette.
Yeah.
And, like, he sees a little blinking red light on the side. And he's just like, nah, whatever. It's just EU, North America. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
And then a siren starts going off. It's like, Yoshi-P, they're hitting JP.
Yeah.
They're hitting us.
Put on your jacket. It's time,
apology.
put on your jacket. It's time with the announcement. Come on. They're panicking down there.
That's a little lesson to the DDoSer. Just target JP.
Just target JP.
Target JP.
That's the only one they care about.
Oh
Leave us
God,
alone.
no! Don't say that. Jesus Christ! Don't target anything.
You're saying that you, as an EU player whose chaos is literally doesn't work 50% of the time.
That's the most infuriating thing. Is that
You don't
chaos
want
has
them to
been
target JP instead?
been suffering. If anyone should get playtime back, it's Chaos, because Chaos has like legit been down for that month that is this month.
Yeah.
But we got an excuse though. We did get an apology, didn't we? So that did happen.
Yeah.
So so everything's fine.
I can't tell if that was sarcastic
That's
or not.
sarcastic. I'm just trying to be on Yoshi-P's good side, of course.
He's not going to give you one of his finger rings or anything.
Oh God, that I would cherish it forever. Would you lick the inside of the ring if you got one, Mala?
Absolutely not. That's wrong.
Just checking. Moving on. I might. Anyways, moving on. We speaking of Yoshi-P, in an interview with a Korean website, this is a week or two ago, Yoshi-P did say some pretty interesting stuff. That's worth discussing. Because I'm surprised our sirens didn't go off when this interview was published the first time, because a lot of this is very good news for us. But let's just start. This is of course translated by Iluna Minori from the 14 subreddit on the Discord there. So I know there are several other translations, but I feel this one went more to the point than the other ones. So on job balance, Yoshi-P does not understand the opinion of how it's harder to play melee DPS than playing a long-range DPS. However, if it's about purely mastering the aspects of dealing damage/DPS while dealing mechanics at the same time, then melee might be harder to do in this department.
What the hell is he talking
How
about?
does he not understand the difficulty of it? They have like directionals and have to deal with more AoEs.
No, I'll let you guys in on a secret. 50% of playing a melee job in anything is it's just a striking dummy, like 50% of the time.
Yeah.
Playing melee is not that hard.
Well, then you agree with him, then. He doesn't understand the opinion.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Uh-huh.
I 100% I agree with him. It's not harder.
I have no opinion on this. However, if it's because I'm a healer. However, it's about purely mastering the aspect of dealing damage DPS while dealing. I'm reading the same thing all over again.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Professional podcast. We've been there since 2014. Even though there are still some anxieties seen still in impressions and so on. What? Let me read that again. Even though there are still some anxieties seen still in impressions and so on.
You said this was the best.
But after buffing pure DPS jobs for 4.4, they saw the data and found out that Samurai's participation in raids got a huge spike as a result.
Which is true, that did happen.
Yeah. Regarding monks, they're always included in the PT race, world firsts, early completion groups, etc. in raids, and have both the synergy and mantra. So monk is pretty much stabilized, according to Yoshi-P, which I think is true, because I haven't heard any monks complain.
Monks in a great spot.
Yeah. All jobs usage ratio being balanced and average does not equal good job balance.
That's true.
That's also true, yeah. Ninjas may feel anxious if they look at Samurai's buffs, but Yoshi-P would like players to understand that it's not about balancing a job by purely looking only at DPS.
True as well. Yeah.
On Dragoon's piercing down effect, he does acknowledge and is aware that the synergy relationship with ranged-based DPS is so huge that it affects the flexibility of PT recruitments. So he might be looking into fixing that problem.
I know he's gonna fix it.
Gonna remove it?
He's gonna add a melee support job, maybe.
Yeah.
What's it gonna be called?
Blue Mage, I think.
Now that sounds no. Mime. So there are no plans of making a smartphone version of Final Fantasy XIV. So that's the first thing we can just put away.
That was never even on the card.
Who asked that question?
Put that away. That's the burning question that's been on everyone's mind.
Asked that damn question.
But it's just nice to know now. I mean, I guess the question came up because 11 is being made into a smartphone game. So maybe someone thought, oh, 11 is almost 14, so 14 is becoming smartphone too.
I think 11's older than 14, isn't it? It's quite an old.
It might be.
I don't know. A couple of years, maybe.
I mean, they look the same.
Yeah,
they look pretty much the
Absolutely,
same.
absolutely.
When was it released?
2002?
2017?
Yeah. I don't know if you're being real or not, Mala. You're scaring me now, because... regarding the stagnant period of MMORPGs being over. So here's some good news.
Wait.
Huh?
What?
He's saying, okay, the stagnant period of MMORPGs is already over. First generation of MMO players are now returning to the MMO scene. First of all, looking purely from the perspective of a global market, the stagnant period of PC MMORPGs are thought to have ended. The basis of that statement lies in how the numbers of new users joining the world of 14 has increased. Although they cannot reveal the exact number nor the details of those numbers, but he said, I think that's what it's supposed to say, but he saw there are so many users coming back to touch on the PC MMORPG genres through 14.
What is he talking about?
Well,
the stagnant period is not over. There's been no innovation for like a decade.
You don't need innovation necessarily, though, because I'm assuming, because the next part kind of plays into it, so I'll just finish this. Those users also ended up influencing the game design of 14 due to this result as well. If one were to look past MMORPGs, the image was about the more you spend your time, the stronger you get. But for 14 today, as long as you play it with your free time, you'll be able to clear almost every content available, and the design principles have been changed to cater to that.
You know, I also gotta disagree with them because how many MMOs are bankrupt right now that have started up within the last year and a half?
What's the list of viable options for a new MMO player?
I think right. I don't know what he's thinking, but MMOs are definitely not.
Well,
and out of those 5 options, how many have been going for like 15 years? Most of them as well.
Yeah. They're all old MMOs too, yeah.
There's no new MMOs that people are hyped about.
Hey guys, you want to play some Bless? Oh.
Nope.
What about some what's that game called? The one that's already shut down?
But that's I mean, we've talked about this like a million times now, but it's so weird that they, because 14 is doing well. I mean, he probably I mean, I'm not gonna go. That was a rumor that we can't confirm. But there's been a rumor about the actual the subscription numbers. I'm not gonna say them here because I couldn't confirm them. But the MMO genre itself seems to center around 2 main games, and then maybe there are more. There's like
ESO as well.
ESO, Guild Wars 2 is still very much active.
Yeah. I'd throw EVE in there as an
I don't know how many people are really playing EVE anymore, though.
It's
you can't deny its success, though.
I'm sure it's got a dedicated fan base, but
it only went free to play recently as well.
That's true.
So it was sub-based for a long time.
Yeah. And then after that, it sort of starts to trickle into the very small ones that are barely holding on. Or are, I mean, that's the scary thing. There are a lot of smaller MMOs that are alive simply because of whales.
Exactly. Which
is most games.
It's not sustainable.
And we'll get. He actually does touch on this.
Yeah,
later.
He does touch on exactly that. Yeah.
So this is the big one regarding whether or not to make Final Fantasy XIV a free-to-play game, and this has been.
Should I say this is one of my favorite answers he's ever given?
Yeah. I think this is the one question that a lot of people have been asking for so long. The free-to-play aspect. Is 14 going free-to-play? A lot of people are like, obviously it's going free-to-play, their game's shit. And and the others are still sort of leaning towards, you know, the the answer that, well, he didn't actually, he has never addressed it directly the way he did here, but Yoshi-P has sort of alluded to the fact that 14 should never go free to play. Well, here's the answer. No plans at all. Rather than aiming at short-term profit, I think the biggest profit is to actually build a trust relationship between the dev teams and the players. It is far more important to us to realize where games like 14 or Dragon Quest Builders realize where games like 14 or the Dragon Quest Builders, where the users believed in us, is actually far more important than the players buying our games that we developed. We do not think that there is no meaning in aiming for profit of a short term. So, yeah.
You added a not in there. That
wasn't there. We do think...
completely changed the context.
I just realized that after. I'm like, I thought for a second that he just turned like completely in the interview.
But actually, since saying that 2 seconds ago...
That makes no sense. I don't agree with myself.
We do think that there's no meaning in aiming for profit of a short term, or short-term profit, since we already reached a positive balance here. Instead of forcefully raising our profits, we think it's much better to attract more users and create a basis and foundation for future sake. And here's another good news. In Japan, the social game MOBAG market is very much at a stagnation.
I think it's Mobage, but...
Mobag.
I think it would be Mobage, probably.
Mobage. Okay. Mobage.
I assume it's the Japanese word for it, right?
Okay.
Yeah, like mobile game.
Mobile age market is very much at a stagnation.
It's the only time I'll ever come to your defense.
Oh, wow. I can't believe you did a weeb thing. Wow. I can't wait to tell Rollo this. Anyway, so the social games are stagnating in Japan. Almost all games could not last beyond 2 months and had to end their service after that. The reason behind this is because those kinds of games abandoned their trust with the users and only care about chasing profits and nothing else. And companies disappear. In the end, what would be left are the characters and IP. There is no meaning having IPs and characters left when the importance of content creation culture disappears completely. I'd say we must definitely avoid falling into the stagnated situations of social games industry in Japan. Currently, we are earning an unimaginably large amount of money across the global here, so we must continue providing our services. Management teams does its job properly, and we will definitely be paid salary in proper.
Just rolling in cash.
So,
how does that make you feel?
So much. It's unimaginable, yes, the amount of money he has. And he is just giving it as a salary to himself.
I think that's just to tell, maybe it's trying to send a signal to other game devs that we're actually making bank here, and this is not a free-to-play trash game. And we're not going to make our game a free-to-play trash game because the sub model still works. But of course, we have to acknowledge the fact that we do have a MOG station.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if I was any of those other devs, I'd be like, "But you have that."
Yeah, we're a free-to-play game with a
cash shop.
Yeah,
which is debatably worse. So,
I don't know. It's so what he's basically saying is that we got away with making a free-to-play game, but we also have a monthly sub, so we sort of have a stable income in addition to the cash shop. Which is still good, because I feel like a free-to-play game is gonna, as he said, they're gonna die eventually. Because eventually people will be like, I don't want to buy another Tunic. You know, as free-to-play games get older, they sort of get lazy with what they like. Suddenly they start, at some point, they just start reskinning.
Norwegians find exciting.
Have you heard they're adding 3 new tunics to RuneScape?
You could buy like a dragon mount or something. He's like, oh, but there's a red tunic and a blue tunic. Oh, I want them both.
I have a very like old-fashioned view of the cash shop. Only tunics and pants. Yeah, free to play is dead. for 14. Hopefully forever now. I mean, they don't need it right now.
No.
Why would they do it at this point? If he's, as he's saying, 14, like he's
if they're making an unimaginable amount of money.
Also, like, he's even to the point where he claims himself that surely the stagnant period of MMORPGs is over, because look at 14. Like, they probably didn't expect then that they would have an increase with Stormblood. Maybe that's why the expansion is so subpar. Yeah,
I really can't wait till December when we can do a Stormblood review. That's going to be good.
You might have changed completely by then, because we still
because it will be all the hype of the new expansion, which is not to do with Stormblood at all.
Yeah, he's kind of right.
True.
Because they've already said, like, the MSQ, Stormblood's done now, so technically most of the MSQ coming up now is all going to be expansion related and not Stormblood related.
Yeah.
Yeah. My biggest, and we've said this before as well with free to play, that, like, that's the number one reason to shut down the podcast. I am not covering a free to play game. That's just that's
the day I'll quit, and that's the day I'll finally be free to play other games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now here's what we say. If this goes free to pay, if the game goes free to play, you have to pay to watch the podcast.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You have to buy the podcast.
It will become a Patreon exclusive.
It will become it'll become a pay to watch podcast.
Yes.
If you're a $1 Patreon, you can watch the intro. $10 Patreons can watch the main story bit.
And if you pay 20, you get the post show. So there you go. No, it's I'll shut down on that. That is so low. I don't want to cover that, because every episode will be like, oh, look at this new thing that came on the station, because we'll call it station now. I'm pushing station.
Right.
So, oh, look at the new stuff on the station. So now you can wear, like, a multi-layered skirt.
Tunic.
Look, a new tunic with a big open boob slot, so you can have your boobs hang out. Oh, it's the boob patch. We finally get big boobies. Rated M for mature now, guys. The new expansion, Boob Hunters. Like, that's gonna be
pretty good.
The future is dark.
Can't wait
if we go that way.
That tunic sounded brilliant.
Yeah, how much is that tunic?
$10.99. So
sounded like the coolest thing on there.
Don't you want the multi-layered skirt, Yaz?
Tunic.
I told you tunics were great.
It's a long skirt, a medium skirt, or a short skirt in one.
I just noticed that the jar isn't on screen.
The jar's not been there for the whole thing.
Yeah, someone said that, like,
we're not allowed to mention the jar because someone decided to make that rule up.
Yeah, so
God, I love the jar.
Melee, you just said the jar. You can't say the J word.
Say
the J word.
I've told you not to mention the jar. What is this weird? What am I doing?
What was that? Are
I liked that. It was
Full
like
House?
a TV show.
We are Full House now. Okay, there we go. It's very tiny now.
There's the jar.
It's a tiny jar. What are we talking about again? Multi-layered skirts.
Multi-layered skirts, yep.
Okay, move. Any last words on free to play? I don't know why the fuck I've been.
Just, don't say no too early, Yoshi-P, because obviously now that Lucia's opened my eyes to the future.
Can you imagine though?
Good.
Like, they'll spend all their dev resources on, like, actual boobs
unimaginable amounts of
and they'll give us butt sliders. Like, it's the dream for some. For others, it's a nightmare.
the apocalypse.
Yeah, the apocalypse.
Did you read the part about Rockstar?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention.
Didn't know.
That's the weirdest part, which kind of breaks it a little bit.
This is the end of the interview too. It's just like,
yeah, I want to create a company like Rockstar Games, and if our games are the same as those games from that company, it means it just cuts off.
It just ends. Like, it just ends.
It means our game image is.
I want to create a company like Rockstar Games, and if our games are the same as those games from that company, it means our game images.
I hope it was like, I hope a game is just, okay, our time is up, Yoshi-P, thank you so much. It's just like,
Also, why would you ever compare the games of Rockstar to Square Enix?
That is very strange.
They've never made any games remotely
GTA
similar.
5
Who did
online
Sleeping
is...
Dogs?
Yeah, what? Who's Rocks?
Didn't Square Enix do Sleeping Dogs? Or was that someone else?
It was Square Enix.
Yeah, that's like GTA. So the games already are like Rockstar
But
games.
GTA 5 Online, I feel like is the most like recent one, right? Or is Sleeping Dogs more recent? I can't remember.
No,
Sleeping
GTA
Dogs is way older. Yeah.
Sleeping Dogs are old.
So GTA 5 Online is a buy-to-play game with a cash shop.
With a cash shop, yeah.
Well, the only thing you can buy are like shark cards, right? Or
fake money.
Yeah, fake money with your
you
shark
have to pay.
cards.
Don't you have to pay for like some of the DLC? Don't you pay for a lot of the updates?
I don't think so.
I think the
I'm pretty sure
updates
you
are
do.
free.
I
Right?
can't remember.
No,
I haven't played GTA 5 in centuries. Right. I don't know. I'm just glad he said no to free to
They
play.
are free.
They are free, yeah. I'm just glad he said no to free to play because I'm so tired of that discussion now. You can argue.
Guess what, Lakil?
What?
It's not gonna end.
It's never
They're
gonna
still
end.
Gonna. There's people that you want to know what this message just went in one ear, out the other, and people are still gonna go. When's it gonna go to free to play? The game's dead. It's dying.
Yeah. The game's dying. Go free to play.
No
I don't
one
want to pay
plays.
for my games. I don't want to pay.
I
for
play
my
on
games.
Solera. I don't see anybody. This game's dead.
There's literally 2 people on my server. Right. Let's I guess we'll take the interior design contest winners unless there's any last comments on that interview, which I have to say is pretty good.
I'm just happy about the free. I don't agree with this stagnation thing, but everything else is good.
Yeah, a couple.
MMORPGs are still stagnant, so I agree with that.
And I like his attitude. Don't balance doesn't equate to DPS. You know,
Yes.
having a lower DPS job but with more utility is balancing.
I have to say though, he did mention that social games are doing pretty poorly in Japan, but isn't that what he's trying to do with 14?
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
but
think
he's going
that's
to
what
do
they mean now.
180 on it, and now he's getting rid of chat.
I think he's specifically talking about like the phone.
What's a
he's
social
talking about
game?
Like the phone game kind of
integrated with Facebook, and you tell your friends you just farmed 10 melons, and they say, "Well done, you farmed 10 melons."
But I thought that was like
a melon.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
just games like that, you know.
Like games where the only goal is to talk to people,
and
like VR chat. Would that be a social game?
Basically, the point of the game is to spend money on the game, and then show off to your friends or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
About your melons.
It's melons shit.
I just think about Farmville.
Okay. Farmville was good when
Farmville
it
is
came
pretty
out.
dope.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope, dude.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
I played that.
You heard it here first.
I played that at grade 9 computer class. It was pretty good.
Yeah. I used to go around picking my friends' cabbage. I can't remember what I did. Watering. Did you go? Was that a thing in Farmville?
I did watermelons, as you might gather, because they were on a 12-hour timer. So
Hey, tell us more about your melons.
So they're pretty big.
Okay, I guess it's time to move on. The interior design contest winners have been announced. I guess I have to open like that website because I didn't think we'd actually make it.
I'm sure we announced it last week. Like, oh hey guys, this is the new contest. Now it's over.
It's very it's been like a month. I'm pretty sure.
Jeez.
Yeah.
How does time fly so fast?
Yeah, I don't know.
When you're not even having fun.
It's true. Let me.
I could have beaten some of the. Oh wow, some of them were really good though. Like really good.
Do
you think they allowed ones that used like all the breaking things?
Oh, like
all the hacks
and stuff?
Yeah, like all the hacks. Yeah, like the stuff you're not meant to be able to do.
Probably.
I mean, most houses have them now. At least the ones that show them off like that.
Gotta work with their shitty housing system somehow.
Yeah, it's nice to embrace them rather than say, "Oh God, you can't do that, guys."
Yeah.
You're banned.
I mean, and it's not like it's anyone's fault but theirs.
Exactly. Yeah.
They could patch that out.
Yeah.
They could
They
fix
probably
those
couldn't.
glitches.
Let's be honest. They probably don't.
But exactly, they probably could.
That's true. Just keep talking. I'm fine.
So yeah, they should. That's
so they've
cool.
categorized it into small, medium, and large, and they seem to only have given one. Oh no! If you click on it, it's all the different image. Oh my god, this is complicated.
I agree completely. 100%
Yeah.
with that. Yeah.
So just quick shout out to
King Harold.
God, that one's rubbish. I'm not going to shout them out, obviously.
Are you just going to sit there?
One of them was just an empty house, pretty much.
Well, we'll get to that. Okay, let's.
Yeah, there's a few not so good ones, I'll admit. I wonder if this is all the submissions.
I imagine so. Because that's isn't that the exact number of houses that are actually available in game?
No, but didn't they say there was like 100 prizes or something, and there's like 80? I feel like this is every single person who submitted.
Oh my god, one of the last ones.
Oh no, down to 200 winners.
Yeah, scroll down to the bottom and look at
There's
the
200
bottom left one.
There's 200 houses in this list, dog.
Ignore.
Yeah,
that, Mala's Rollo and well, yes is yes, so that's correct. So, but I just.
Hey guys, Rollo here.
Anime.
I like anime.
Okay. You forgot. What did you forget to do today, Mala?
Well, I was gonna do it in the post show, but if you want to do it,
Do it in the main show, dude.
Okay. Umbral Wind, happy birthday.
There you go.
Umbral
Good
Wind,
boy.
happy birthday.
Oh,
Have
happy
a great day.
birthday.
Gratulerer med dagen. Okay, let's. Yeah, that's right. I pulled out the big guns. Let's look at the first one here. Is that the name of the person? Swin.
Yeah. Swine.
Swine.
I think.
This is a good old Swine's house. This is a very like
Swine.
Eastern...
You've done. Oh. I'm having bad memories in the bottom middle picture though. I'm having pretty bad memories.
Yeah, I'm imagining some chairs around
certain
that.
Estate.
Yeah. Certain estate. Yeah. Well, let's just move on from that, huh? Whoa!
Oh.
Don't know who this is.
So
I have to click out every time.
Yeah, you have
Kashiana.
You don't have to call them.
Are we gonna go through all 200 of these, by the way?
No,
Yeah.
we're gonna look at like the top 3 of each category.
No, there's one I want you to look at.
Okay, then point it out.
I don't know if they're in order of best to worst.
There are no best to worst. These are all winners. So there's no.
Some of them are clearly better than the others.
No. Yeah. So very nice house. I don't know what we're gonna. What is this? What is this content that we're doing right now?
I don't know.
We're just looking at winners of housing.
I don't know why we're doing it.
Wow.
It's so weird.
Oh, look at Dante's. Wow. Really cool.
A lot of plants.
A lot of plants.
I like what you've done with the plants.
I like it too.
I'm not really qualified to talk about this.
Me neither. Let's move on to medium plot. Actar. Very
I like
cool.
what you've done with the Moogle bedroom.
Also, our audio listeners are gonna love this portion. This is gonna be the best listening portion.
Most of it you go,
It's weird.
Just roll with it, yes. Okay, this is from
they've
Arc
done a nice
Chronos.
gold.
Very gold.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
golden.
nice
It
color
looks
palette.
like Aurum
Wow,
Vale.
really cool.
They put a lot of bricks on the ceiling.
Yeah. And what's that rug on the Tonbury rug? I've not seen that before.
Well, that
That's
confirms
nice.
that they've hacked and they've won. So that's
Right,
cool.
so okay, so you should be very ashamed.
No,
of yourself.
those go on the walls.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, in that
Wow,
case.
look at Yas, he knows everything.
Wow.
Well,
We
I
have. I
have a
didn't know we
house.
have a
I have
professional.
4
now we got a
houses.
professional house.
Wow, you're so cool.
I have 4 houses.
Wow.
Just pick out one that take you.
Oh, I have to go all the way back up to get to the large. Here's Kaiko Naiko's house.
Oh, that's nice. Kaiko Naiko. Is there a classroom
So
in the bottom?
cool.
It's a classroom.
It's like a classroom.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
It's like a school?
That's nice to have a school.
That's
I guess.
nice to have. It says Kyle.
Oh wow!
Kylan.
Look,
Wow.
Wow.
So cool. Look at that. It's all red.
Wow.
Okay, here's like.
Oh, Khmer.
Wow. Got windows everywhere.
How many windows?
Got so
We
many
hacked those 'cause
windows.
they're
So
crooked.
cool.
Wow.
Cool.
You can't put them on angles like that without hacking. So yeah.
Wow.
Wow, look at this
Wow.
one. Wow, it's got greeneries. Okay, wow, that's enough.
Scroll down to the bottom and look at the bottom left one.
Bottom. Oh, well, that's two bottom. This one?
It's like an IKEA display. It looks so cool.
Wow, look at that.
How's there windows in the
cool.
ground?
That one, I actually genuinely
looks like one
really
of those like IKEA, like the ones that they have in the IKEA stores, where you can just pretend that you live there.
Exactly, yeah.
That's what I do all the time. Yeah,
there's a window under the oven. That's weird.
That's weird. He's cooking something crazy. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, that's that's congratulations to the winners. Very cool. Very cool.
Really good. You all deserve whatever the prize was.
You deserve.
There was no cloud thing in there, by the way.
There's no cloud.
You deserve your game.
Yeah.
God, I really
very cool. Very cool.
Maybe I should have entered my house, which no one's ever seen. Or I should have entered the soup kitchen.
Why don't you share your house with me, actually?
Why would anyone?
How
why
about
would
you
we?
mind your
Why?
business?
Okay. I'm wondering.
I'm gonna make a couch and tag to one and look at your house.
Okay. I'll let you in.
Will you let me out?
So we're gonna read some MogMail now.
It's time for MogMail.
So number one again.
Oh yeah.
Is
you did
it?
Sing a song last time.
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh yeah, do the jingle.
No.
Oh okay.
Yeah, sing for us, dancing monkey.
Sing
Now.
Do we take the long one now? I feel like
We've got time.
But is it worth bringing it up?
What's it about?
Unless it's something that necessarily needs all four of us here, just bring it up.
Oh, you know what? I think this needs Rollo, because he loves this content. So we might want to keep that for him. I love how we're doing this on camera.
I mean, it's definitely very theory crafty, so it's probably it's probably Rollo.
Okay, we'll take number 2 then. This one is a bit of a joke, so we'll just have to live through this one. But here we go. It's from Rare Beast from Sidescape V1. The recent interview with Yoshi-P has inspired me to ask questions deliberately to the wrong people. Rollo isn't here, by the way, so we can't really... Here we go. Rollo, what was your thought process when designing Roderick? Yes, how long do you typically spend on research for each Fallen Rise episode, and how do you keep motivated? Mala, how do you strike...
Fallen Rise is hard.
How do you strike a balance between pushing content and keeping an enjoyable environment as a raiding team? Lukiel, what's the appropriate way to use regen? To all, what are the applications of One Ilm Punch? Thank you, Beast.
I have a really tough time making Fallen Rise. Fallen Rise is a lot of work for me. Staying motivated is very hard. I don't make Fallen Rise. I don't have anything to do with it.
No, yes, works really hard on Fallen Rise. So that's I can tell. Mala,
if you need to know how to strike a good balance between pushing content and keeping an enjoyable environment as a raiding team, you've got to maintain authority, okay?
Yeah.
The other 7 people with you are there to serve you. They're not there to enjoy themselves. So you can enjoy yourself, and therefore it's an enjoyable environment for you, but they're there just to push content, okay? Keep them pushing content. Buy them a crate of battery fresh each. Keep them going. Some gobies, and just make sure they play at least 16 hours a day during the start of the patch cycle. If you don't clear it within the first 3 days, kick them all. Start a new team.
Right.
What would you do if somebody wasn't using the best raid food? Like if they
weren't using the best raid food, yes, they would not be part of my team. They would not only be blacklisted, but I'd actually request a GM to move them to a new server.
What if they can't afford it? What if they can only afford Crimson Cider?
If they're too poor to afford proper raid food, they're clearly not an Omnicrafter, and they clearly don't have a place in my raid team.
Wow. Everybody, look how elitist he is.
Yeah.
I can't believe he would do that.
Yeah, but this is all to the wrong people, so I was answering it as
yes. Right. The Rollo question will have to... Rollo designed Roderick.
I feel like, I feel like he likes cats a lot.
Yeah.
And I think he was
likes
probably
color red.
He likes color red.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. He does like rods.
That's also true. That's probably the inspiration there for the name.
Yeah.
The appropriate way to use region is actually not using it, because it's actually, a lot of people misunderstand the use of region. You can actually remove it from your bar, basically. So I'd recommend just using
Cure 3.
Cure 3 that's a good one. Yes, that's Cure 3 is
really good single target heal.
Yes, you can use Medica 2 obviously as a replacement for region, and also remember though that you have to cast Medica 2 before a pull. That way you get the maximum heals, but don't use region is basically what I'm saying. You can use region in like situations where, say, you're about to die, you have 10 HP perhaps. Don't use Cure or Benediction or Tetra, but just throw a region on you real quick, and you should survive most encounters. So thank you, Beast, for that. I hope you got
region purely an out of battle thing.
It is, absolutely, yes. Yeah. I use it when I fish. I've heard that helps get so I ask people to come over. It's a big process, but it is worth it. Get people white mage over while you're fishing, throw some region on you. Make sure they're there you must never lose your region though while you fish. That's how you get the big fish. So, let's move on to the next MogMail, and this one is from Nisuna Frey from Ultros. I'm writing you today to ask what your thoughts are for the future of Eureka, and how Animos and Pegos will fare in future content for those wanting the gear and weapons. We talked about this before we went on. It's a very good question, because they're pushing Eureka whether we like it or not.
Yeah, it was nice knowing you guys. See you guys later. Good show today.
Nisuna, okay, right. The long and short of it is, if you want the gear and weapons from Eureka, stop wanting the gear and weapons from Eureka. It's not worth your time.
Correct, because I want them, but I'm not going to do it.
It's not worth your time, Nisuna. You've got better things. You've only got one life, and you're wasting it. You're pissing it away, Eureka. Can't believe you.
Pissing the night away. Pissing the night.
What a song!
Yeah, you're welcome.
I hope it doesn't fare well in future content, because I hope it just never. If this is a thing in if this is a thing in Shadow Hunters or whatever the next expansion is. Relics are dead forever.
Yeah, relics are dead forever.
I think so. I've been trying, while I was doing again with fucking Pegos, I was trying to make sense of what their thinking is, because I don't get it. I don't understand. No one liked what they did with Pegos, and now that we see Pyros, it looks like they're just piling even more RNG on top of the already existing RNG. I think that they are really trying to make that split between, remember when Yoshi-P back in Heavensward, when they talked about where the precision of the relic is, like who are the relics for?
Yeah,
because they had no purpose in Heavensward, because everyone did the relics, but they also did, other stuff. They did dungeons for the tome gear. They did raids for the raid weapons.
Here's the thing.
But now look at you, Yas. You don't even want to go in there.
Right. But here's the thing, is before you were doing dungeons and stuff, all that, right? All that stuff you listed, that was also doing your relic at the same time.
Yes. Yeah. But I think
so. It's like
in there,
you were doing things. You were getting. It was always two birds stoned at once.
Yeah. But I think what they're doing here is trying to make an environment that is exclusive for a set part of the player base. Because they don't have to do dungeons for tomes, because tomes drop like crazy from the mobs. From the NMs. I think they've decided that we're doing the split now, and it's gonna split the community, and I think that's what's happening.
But do you think it's a good idea putting the community through so many distilleries? Because you're basically, each time a new Eureka Zone comes out, you're distilling off half of those players again and again and again until how many players do they expect they're going to be in the last zone?
I think. I mean, there was a lot of people doing Pegos again, as
but you can't tell. You can't tell because it's always an instance of 144.
Yeah, but I
So
could
there
switch
could be
instances. Sometimes I would
Right,
switch
but
because I would be
but
looking
there
for
could be
Luigi.
288 players playing or 10,000.
It doesn't matter
Yeah.
because at least you have a full instance. I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
would have
you can still
understood it
get a
was
full
like
instance
20 people
in
an
Animals.
instance.
Doesn't mean that there's lots of people doing it.
Well, I don't. We don't have any numbers, so I don't know
Right.
what we're. It's the same as with raiding. We don't have numbers. We don't have numbers for whom and how many people are doing the expert roulette. Like, there's. If we're gonna go by the numbers, it's kind of weird because we don't know any of the numbers for anything really. I'd be very interested to see numbers on chocobo racing, for instance, because I keep thinking that's dead, but I know that there's big groups of people that are still doing chocobo racing hardcore, which is to me completely absurd.
I chocobo race a lot.
Yeah.
It's dead. There's nobody doing it.
I don't know. Maybe they're doing it at. Well, if they're doing it in preformed parties, because
I don't think you can do
Yes.
preformed anymore.
Yeah, you can.
you can.
Can you?
Yeah.
Mm.
But
Sorry,
yeah, I
yes,
don't
you
know.
need to be part of that exclusive club.
Just join the chocobo racing club.
You're not part of a league?
Yeah.
Not part. No, not part of a league. No.
You gotta join
That's
the
a
league.
shame. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're just not used to. We've never had content like this in the game. That's like it
That's
doesn't
true.
necessarily care about the overall opinion.
I have played this type of content before. It was called Final Fantasy XI.
Yes, and I think that's also
And I could still sub to that game if I wanted to.
yeah.
And they don't need to put all this gear in there because it's nostalgic, because I can still go get that gear in the other game. I don't care.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's there's a reason that people dropped 11 and came to 14. You don't need to put it back to 11 again.
But I think it is
Making
important
sense.
again, once again, to
Just like to,
Yeah, go on.
I'd just like to answer this question by quoting Naoki Yoshida, director and producer of Final Fantasy XIV.
Mhm.
He says, "But for Final Fantasy XIV today, as long as you play it with your free time, you'll be able to clear almost every content available, and the design principles have been changed to cater to that."
I mean, to be
Rather
fair,
than-
I rarely played Pegos. Like, although I did play it after the nerf, but I didn't feel like I played that much of Pegos before I got the
You
weapon.
played a lot of
I played more
Pegos.
than I wanted to. I
I
played
feel like
way
you played
more
a
than
lot
I
of
wanted to.
Pegos.
It took
Yeah,
like a
you
week.
and Pegos pretty much every day.
Took like a week or two to get the weapon, maybe three weeks ish to get the weapon. But that's not too bad. I mean, I was mostly AFK, as most people can attest to. That saw me there. You'd most likely see me next to an aetherite or something, just doing nothing, and then automatically get kicked. But it's that's the biggest curse in Pegos, getting kicked after 10 minutes. But yeah, Eureka already has people that love it. It already has people. It's already people that love Eureka and what it stands for. So I think that's also why they are so encouraged to keep going.
I don't think that there's more people saying it's good than bad, though.
No, I don't know about that, but
if they're going no and not listening to the people who are saying it's bad, and then targeting the literally 5 people who are praising it, and they're saying, "Oh, we'll make it for those people." That's one of the stupidest things a game developer can ever do.
Yeah.
Like you don't ignore 95% and then listen to the very quiet, loud, or the very quiet corner minority to be like, "Oh, well, let's listen to them." instead.
So here's the problem. So this would have been nice. Like, this is okay. Would have been okay if it didn't come out as a big feature with a patch and sort of being touted as content for everyone. Like we got one dungeon. Is it one dungeon? I can't even remember anymore. Wait, we get less dungeons now because of content like Eureka. If this had been like Ultimate, where Eureka was just something they did and came in addition to everything else, in addition to something else new, that's cool and great, then I wouldn't care too much about it. It would.
Well, Ultimate also doesn't have any assets behind it. It's just reused assets. Like the whole thing is all reused, right? That's kind of the point of Ultimate. They don't design anything. They don't make new things for Ultimate fights. That's why they're all based on
nice.
Yeah, but the weapons are already in the game beforehand. Like they take weapons and they modify them slightly.
Yeah.
They take the fights, like the mod, like they're not inventing a new boss, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
right?
but the weapons are still nice.
Whereas Eureka, they're designing an entire zone, all this extra, right? so because I've heard people can make the comparison before. It's like, well, it's okay for them to design Eureka for 10 people because Ultimate's designed for 10 people.
No, that's
but
not
it's
what
like
I'm saying.
one is different work than the other, you know?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If Eureka had been released in the same manner as as the Ultimates, that would have been more okay. But it's being fronted as like this big. I don't know. It's weird. Because, again, Ultimate has weapons that I can never get. Like, I'll never be able to get those. And Eureka has weapons that, after a while, I'll probably never be able to get. Because at some point, I'm going to fall off. I won't be able to keep up with this. Because they're just layering the cake. Like, there's just more and more RNG on top.
Yeah.
In a sense, I think some people would eventually start calling this, like, old-school grinding hardcore. Like, from the old MMO style. Which, again, is what I think they wanted the Relic to be to begin with. Like, if you look at the first quest of A Relic Reborn, like, the 1.0 one was fucking awful. And that one took months to complete. And that was in a game that had no actual real dungeons. It did have 4, but 2 of them were involved in the quest. The other stuff was overworld shit.
I mean, very similar to 11 in that regard.
Yes. So I don't know. I think eventually we're just gonna have to accept Eureka because they're not gonna. It's not gonna disappear. It's not gonna go away.
It might.
Do you know what I think? I think you did actually. You had a good point when you said like it really depends on what it looks like. I think why so many people are pissed off, mad that it's still going and that it seems to be almost like the most important content that they're designing in their eyes because they talk about it endlessly.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the only thing they ever talk about. They barely talked us about AlphaScape at all, and yet they show us 8 years of Pagos and all that stuff. And I think it's because it's touted as this like everyone should do this content, right? It's content for anybody who wants to do it, right? Which isn't true because you have to have done everything else beforehand to do it.
Yeah.
But relics have always been touted as content for everyone. And that's why people think Eureka's content for everyone. But Eureka clearly isn't content for everyone. It's content for a very small group of people who want something specific.
Yes.
So they've tied this niche to something that everyone in the game feels like they should be able to get. And those, like, if Pagos was like an edition like Heaven on High, nobody looks at a Heaven on High weapon and says, I am supposed to get this, right? People get it or they don't get it, and they don't really care. But since a relic is, even though it's just a weapon, feels completely different than those weapons, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like if they had attached it, if this wasn't, if they weren't called relic weapons, everything would be fine. Yeah. That's basically what I'm saying. If they just didn't have the name. Right. If it just wasn't, if they had a Eurekan weapon and then there was a relic weapon quest line, I don't think anyone would care.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Relics are very special.
Relics are special.
Yeah, yes. But I think
they're the only purple weapons, but they're also very tied into your class.
Yes. Yeah. But I think they're trying to rebrand relics because we have this relics is for everyone, like a very available thing, very easy to do. I think they're trying to change it. They want relics to be something that you have to work harder for now, which
doesn't that go against what they always said though?
Yes, it kind of does.
Because they were always like, relic is just a time sink. It's not difficult.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I think relics are available for everyone, but it's going to take a lot of fucking time, and you're going to hate every moment of it. That's the problem.
I already felt like that.
There's no difficulty curve there's no real difficulty other than time in Eureka. There's not like a big raid boss that's going to come and that has loads of mechanics.
See, that's the thing, though, is I would disagree because I don't have an issue with dumping a lot of time into something. I like at all. I will play the game for 40 hours and level everything in the first week of the expansion because I love sinking that amount of time. That's not my issue. If it was about spending time, I'd have every relic, but it's not really about spending time. It's about having to endure the worst game mechanics. And it's like, I don't know.
I don't know. It's like it's. I mean, I'm not. It kind of sounds like I'm a big supporter of Eureka, but I've been in there and I've thought about it. I'm trying to make sense of this, because otherwise they would have stopped, like they did with Diadem. They were like, okay, shit, shut
I
it
think they're
down.
just committed. I
think they did. They were like, we're pushing this now.
We have to remember that they designed Pyros before they designed Pagos.
Yeah.
So I think when Eureka came, or when Animos came out and people were like, this isn't very good, I don't think they could cancel it because I'm pretty sure they were already working on the next ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I almost feel like this isn't a case of like Diadem. It's like if they had developed 3 Diadems and the first one came out and was bad, and they're like, well, we still have 2 more to release. We've already made them. We might as well release them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised because originally they were like, yeah, this is a system we're going to use forever. If it's not in 5.0, I won't be surprised.
I won't be sad either.
No, I will be overjoyed.
One thing I completely forgot about this, and one of the main reasons I dislike Eureka is the story. There's hardly any, and it's spread.
It's just Final Fantasy V.
Yeah, it is.
It's not even a new story.
It's spread out way too thin. Like you get like 3 or 4 quests in total in your whole stay at Eureka, Pagos. I felt like you got more. Even on Animos, I complained about that, but you got more on Animos than you got on Pagos. So I don't know. And also, what the fuck they put? Okay, I don't know if I might have ranted about this already, but they placed the last quest location at the very top of Pagos, surrounded by very hostile Morbles and Griffins. This is the quest that you get at level 35. You've just leveled up. If you die there, no one's gonna rest you. And you're gonna level down, my dude. Why did they do that? I didn't even see that cutscene. I was so afraid when I finally made it there. I just skipped the fuck out of that cutscene and ran away. No, I didn't run. I teleported away. That was so scary.
Cutscenes, at least.
No, but mobs will move while you're in the cutscene, and then you leave the cutscene, and they'll target you and kill you.
Die.
Yeah, and they run faster than you. They run faster than sprint. So you be dead. Anyways, I think there's something in Eureka for some players. I'm sure. It's not my cup of tea. I have done it though, which still baffles me a little bit. I never thought I'd actually do it, but I think the fear of missing out of Pyros drove me to insanity, so I would just do Pagos. But I can barely remember anything of what I did in there. Like, it's just a blur. Mostly because I didn't watch the screen. I was watching YouTube and whatever. I didn't actually play the game in a sense.
This is like the least me thing I've ever said, but I almost have like a feeling of relief that I don't have to do Pyros.
Yeah.
Like, because now I'm a full generation behind.
Yeah.
I'm level 21 in Pagos, so I'm not anywhere even remotely close to progressing at all in that. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm free.
Yeah.
I don't even have to think about Pyros. I cannot even give it 1% of my brain. I'm happy. I feel like I'm invigorated.
I felt like one person on the podcast.
Let's do some Heavenward Relics, guys. Yeah.
One person on the podcast have to be in it, so that would have to be me. I'll be our Jesus.
Dude, it would be better to not just really stick it to Square. Be like, no,
I have to.
I'm not talking about it.
Minimum island level dungeon being pulled right now.
Oh, it's gonna be Fractal Heart, obviously.
Nope.
It's gonna be Sastasha.
It is
Hell's Lid.
Hell's Lid, probably.
Me.
Wow, you guessed it, man.
I can't believe it. You're an oracle.
You're really an oracle.
Okay, let's
Oracle Caramel.
spill the wheel of doom.
Spill it?
Did I say spill?
I
think I said spill too, yeah. Here's our wheel, and I'm gonna spin it. I have to figure out what's up with the audio for this. I might have actually fixed it. Nope. Absolutely not.
Well.
It always goes for so much longer than anything to go for.
Oh, we're gonna suffer.
Oh, we're dead. No, we're gonna die.
We're not gonna survive.
We're not gonna be able to beat it.
Test run.
So no job, Crystal. Wow. We might wanna. So we need to do something new. We need to spin it again as a backup. So if this doesn't work, the Wheel of Doom has selected our backup. Okay.
There's gonna be no job crystal again.
Yeah, well, in that case, the gods have spoken.
Oh.
Here we go.
God, aka now appreciate the director of the
no OGCDs.
Okay, that's the most
Also
common
bad,
one.
but still better.
When did we last have no right side? That feels like years.
Everything on this wheel is bad, by the way. There's not
no
no
HUD's
good.
fine.
Yeah, no HUD's
No
fine.
HUD's fine.
I do less DPS because I don't really know
no right
where.
side is fine too. I don't need accessories.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Thank you for that's the end of the show. Thank you for tuning in.
Oh God, yeah.
What? Oh God.
Daylight savings.
Oh yeah. Fuck. That's probably the last time we're gonna do this in Europe. So daylight saving starts tomorrow.
Well, it starts.
Wait, does that mean our time?
No, it's
different?
after our. It's after the show, right? Because it's.
Is it...
Or is it?
No, it's on Sunday at like 1 a.m.
Oh, so we're fine. Wait.
No.
At 1 a.m.
No,
on Sunday.
that's
So okay.
tonight.
It's before. It's tonight. Yeah.
Okay. Does that mean Milo at a different time?
But yeah, it's 1 hour later than usual.
Oh hell yeah!
No, that's
awesome
why
for
we
me.
turn it back. Wait,
But then
how do we do this? Fuck.
I know.
Can anyone remember?
No, we do change the times. I do remember that
Yeah.
because I have to make a new overlay every time. So it's fuck. The GMT never changes, does it?
Is cost going forward or
GMT is constant.
an hour? So it's going back.
Go back.
So 7 is now going to be 6. Do we keep it at 6 or do we push it back to 7? So it will actually be an hour later for everyone but us.
Because the time doesn't change for me, does it?
Time doesn't change for any of us. Time is always the same.
Time is constant.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate it. Let's just go
No,
with
wait.
global
We
time,
usually
dudes.
wait.
Global time.
We usually
Yeah,
wait for
global time,
America to catch
seriously.
up, don't we? So
Yeah,
we
right.
always have to suffer for a week. And
Yeah,
then
we suffer for a bit.
And then we
Yeah, I think that
adjust.
sounds right.
Look, guys, you'll get a notification.
Yeah, you'll be. Don't worry. It's 6 p.m. GMT. That never changes. GMT
Yeah,
never
exactly.
changes. So it's 6
GMT is
p.m.
the same.
6 p.m. GMT tomorrow. 12 p.m. PDT.
In before I miss it tomorrow because I don't understand how time works.
Remember to follow us on Twitter at speakersxiv.com. That's not our Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at speakersxiv. YouTube.com/speakersxiv. Twitch.tv/speakersofidland. Wait, there's more. There's exclamation Discord in chat if you want to join our Discord server. If you're watching on demand, link is in the description.
Send us MogMail!
speakersxiv.com/MogMail. Bye!
Goodbye.
Bye.